However, there was normal lighting so we could see when we're cleaning. I turned the fog machine off and I was cleaning the arena and I felt my shirt get tugged. Our dress code was to tuck in our shirts and I noticed that the back of mine was all the way untucked. This happened 4 times, but trying to be logical and not wanting to fall victim to Jonathan's scare tactics, I assumed it got caught on one of the obstacles. As I exited, I saw a man standing by one of the obstacles though. I saw smoke but thought it might be the fog machine. For some reason though, I couldn't shake the feeling I was being watched. But I didn't want to say anything out of pride. I couldn't let Jonathan get the best of me. The next night we were closing and something just gave me the chills the whole 8-hour shift. I was on edge and I just couldn't explain why. About half an hour after all the customers left, I entered the vesting room to start sweeping and it reeked like cigar smoke and alcohol. 2 smells I was very familiar with, but it burnt the inside of my nose and made me gag, it was so strong. Just as quickly as it came, it went away. Still rubbing the sting out of my nose, the lights turned off. I didn't realise it at first, and my eyes were shut too tight. Thinking the power had went off in the whole building, I used the light from my phone to guide me to the lobby. To my astonishment, the power was on though. I went back into the vesting room and realised the switch had been turned off. So I switched it back on and went to confront Jonathan, only to find out that he was outside packing the recycling bins with the assistance of Keith. I was alone in the building. I got freaked out, but
hi guys.
I went
this is
outside
how
and
you
told
make
them not to
hash
do it again.
browns
They
in
looked
the
confused and had no idea what I was talking
microwave.
about. I went back in to continue cleaning, but when I re-entered the vesting
I'm
room,
gonna put the
lights
hash
were again
browns
shut
on the
off.
plate in the
smell was
microwave,
bad. Now I knew they were innocent,
and now
but before I could
I'm
turn
gonna click
around,
this
I heard a
button
man's voice say,
right
"Wait."
here
The
3
voice was
times,
unfamiliar, but curiosity took over and I had to see who it was.
and it's gonna
I clicked
cook.
on the light.
The only problem is I don't have any juice.
I ran and got the other 2 to help search the building. Armed with brooms, we searched and found no one. But again, upon entering the vesting room, the smell of cigars and alcohol was present. All 3 of us noticed it, but I seemed to be the only one who was scared by it. We didn't see anything out of the ordinary, so we continued with our tasks. As we finished our work, we met in the lobby and decided to do one last search through the building to make sure nobody was inside before we left. The smell was no longer in the vesting room, but in the very back of the arena. Almost the second we started smelling it, Jonathan felt a hand around his neck and he threw himself to the floor to break the grip. Clearly in shock, his fumbled word came out, "Run!" As we ran to the exit, we heard a man laughing. It was too loud to dismiss. The exit led right into the vesting room. As we entered, we stopped running because the lights were off. The only light was coming from the door that led to the lobby that we had left open.
Now the light's on so you guys can see.
In the room, we managed some courage and went back into the arena. It was dark and the light switch to the arena was at the front desk. No one had went near it. Keith had just managed to find his way back. Tears in his eyes, he said he had fallen, and when he got to his feet, the lights had went out. Right before we opened the door to go back for him, we heard a man's voice say, "Don't look for me, or else." We went back into the lobby when the vesting room door slammed shut behind us, like he was glad to be rid of us. We looked up and went to my car to check Jonathan's neck. He complained that it was kind of hard to breathe. When we looked, we noticed red marks on both sides of his neck and in the middle. In the middle, you could almost make out 2 thumbs.
Now the door is closed.
That mark was deep red and lasted for about a week.
Now
Since that night,
I'm gonna set this down.
The little girl vanishing, but I've still yet to see the man indefinitely. To this day, when something strange happens to us in a way, we just say what we're going to do at that time, get it done, and leave. It seems to work too. Employees around sending on wild goose chases, the same ones I had once been sent on, for non-existent items. But our warnings are stern about the